Hello, crew, and hello, family. This is the February community update, the AMA, where you get to ask me anything. And still haven't figured out a way as to how we're going to go about having people in the community ask questions so they can be answered here. For now, simply shoot them into the Telegram channel, and I'll respond to them in that way. Either way, I'll be keeping these AMA or community update recordings down to under 20 minutes. And it's basically simply to give you a window in to what's happening behind the scenes at YesAnd and what we've been up to. And so for February, a big focus has been the festival launch. And what needed to happen for that to happen was securing land and for the festival, and we had found some land that was super aligned, but maybe not for this year. And then there was some other land that was incredible called Misty Mountain, and it's going to make logistically life a whole lot easier for everyone as well. So we're super excited about hosting this year's YesAnd Festival at Misty Mountain for the Australian Hub, and we have launched tickets for that 2 days ago. So currently the coaching circle had access to that for the last 2 days, exclusive access. And now the members community, members circle have access to it for the next 2 days. And then the tickets get released out to the general public for early bird tickets. Tents are limited for that, so do get in there quick. And we have made it family and children friendly. Alrighty. Given the festival is a big focus, there's been a lot of work that's been happening behind the scenes, not just with the core YesAnd team, but also all of the volunteers. And a huge thank you goes out to each and every one of the volunteers that have been chipping in from anywhere and everywhere in the world. We have volunteers from Singapore, from the US, from the UK, and all around Australia. So your work is hugely valued and is making this year's festival a whole festival experience and prep experience a whole heap more flowy. And we know that this energy that you're putting in to the prep for this festival is going to mean an incredible experience for anyone that attends this festival. So thank you so much for your energy and the energy that's been put into this. Something that has been born out of that, we were in the last AMA and community update, we mentioned that we were on the lookout for an accounts person. And so we have found an accounts person, and it's quite beautiful that that accounts person has come from within the community. And so this here will be a paid role with YesAnd as the team expands in a specific role around accounts, and we will be announcing the person come next month as we make it official over the next 4 weeks. So really looking forward to that, and it's quite exciting news for YesAnd to be expanding in this way and to be able to do so and grow and evolve with the community. Yeah, we really deeply consider each of you as a part of this organization, and quite a non-dual relationship with the community, where it isn't the inside of YesAnd and the outside of YesAnd, but actually we've got this flat structure, very similar to how mycelium grows underground and creates a beautiful network where we share nutrients from one tree to another and that increases our capacity as a whole collectively. I'm sure I will make many more mycelium references in these community updates. So we've got the accounts wizard, which is awesome, that's coming on board. And to finish off this community update, we have got the ball rolling on the YesAnd podcast. We've got the initial conversations that have started, and Marion is taking us through an integrally informed process where there's 8 conversations to be had, which means that we cover all of the elements and aspects of an integral process, which means that we really approach bringing this, birthing this into the world, something like a podcast, in the most holistic way possible, where all of our intentions are on the same page, and we can move forward from here, and everyone's roles within the podcast are going to be super clear. And so we will be involving the community around this as well. Hope you can still hear me with all of this rain coming through in Byron. Also wanted to say a thank you to 2 particular people around the podcast inspiration. First one was Mike. Mike kind of kept sending us messages in Slack and just going, guys, we need to start a podcast. We'd love to help. And Mike is he's a community member. He's one of our clients. He's one of you, and does one-on-one coaching with YesAnd. And it's really beautiful. You know, if you have any suggestions like this, we want to hear them. We will listen to them fully. We will jump on a call with you. We will see if it's a thing for now, or if it's a beautiful idea, but not for right now. And that's been the process with this podcast, where it was first seeded 6 months ago. Yeah. And we've now jumped on a conversation with the YesAnd core team and Mike to take the next steps forward in that. The other person I'd love to acknowledge in that process is Ethan, who's one of the volunteers for the festival. And Ethan has his own podcast that's quite integrally informed as well, and has had some incredible speakers on there. So feel free to check those out. Hopefully Ethan can put a link into the Telegram and YouTube notes here. Thank you so much for helping out with this and actually getting what we're using the festival as a way to get a trial for the actual podcast. So we've got a festival podcast happening, which is highlighting the work of speakers that we had at last year's festival that are going to be at this year's festival, more easily accessible via a podcast on Substack. So more to come on that as we refine that process. Any questions around any of this content, please let us know and we can touch on that in the next community update. We love working with you together in deep play, deep practice, and deep rest, and deep work. I just added deep rest in there, probably because there's a lot happening with the festival. Take care and speak to you soon.